Hey guys, HMK here to bring you another Zelda theory video, and this one's going to be based on Navi, your fairy pal and guide in Ocarina of Time. Now why do a theory on this? She's just an annoying fairy that was built to antagonize you through one of the most epic video game journeys of all time, right?
Right!
Wrong.
Aww.
Off the bat, I'd just like to say I personally like Navi. She had some very helpful info and tidbits on baddies, and story-wise, she gave Link a sense of fulfillment in being a true Kokiri when he was bullied by the other kids for not having a fairy. But I digress. Now, the reason why I'm doing a theory video on this is because Navi the fairy is one huge lingering question that many gamers have been wondering for years now. Where did she go? What exactly happened to her? And why did she disappear? Better yet, why does this even matter? Well, because in Ocarina of Time's direct sequel, Majora's Mask, Link sets off on a new adventure in the land of Termina. But why did he set off on this journey? Because he was looking for his partner Navi. This fact was speculated for many years until it was confirmed by Hyrule Historia, as it states that Link was searching for her for months in the Lost Woods. Now let me set up the stage for you. At the end of Ocarina of Time, specifically in the Child timeline, which Link defeats Ganon and returns to the past before the Master Sword was even drawn from its pedestal, for some reason that is still unknown, Navi wordlessly separates from Link and flies towards the back window of the temple. Link then heads in the other direction to warn Princess Zelda of Ganondorf. Now this video won't comprise of one theory behind this outcome, but will have multiple takes on Navi's whereabouts. Now, some of these are going to be remarkably simple, while others will border on the ridiculous, and some may tug on your feels, but all these are guaranteed to get your mind spinning with thought. Now, the first theory is going to probably be the simplest one, and it's that Navi merely went back to the Kokiri forest. I know it seems anticlimactic given the nature of questioning, but think about it. If Navi were to exit from the back window of the Temple of Time, which sits here on the map, she just has to fly over parts of Kakariko Village and Zora's River to make it back to the forest. No sweat, right?
Right!
Wrong.
Really?
Some factors tend to disagree with this theory, and they are 1. Link went back to the Lost Woods to look for Navi, so he probably had the idea of what we're discussing right now, but he was searching for months and still Navi didn't turn up. And 2. Something about the temple that segues into another theory on her supposed path. In Twilight Princess, which takes place after Majora's Mask in the Child timeline, it is revealed when Link comes across the Temple of Time in the Sacred Grove, that back window, yes the very same window Navi flew towards the end of the game in Ocarina of Time, leads to what many call the true Temple of Time, an eerie dungeon filled with clockwork and multiple mini colossi. Now with this information, it could be theorized that Navi wound up here rather than anywhere else. Perhaps she decided to settle in the temple, live in isolation and rest after the many arduous battles she's been in with Link. This would be a definite possibility. However, given that that area of the temple was teeming with monsters by the time of Twilight Princess, I don't think it would be an optimal place for chilling. But then again, those monsters could have been spawned off of Zant placing the Mirror of Twilight shard in the temple. Either way, the possibility of Navi spending the rest of her days in the temple may be a sad but valid claim. Next, this idea came from a webcomic that I read somewhere on the internet, and try as I might, I'm unable to find a link. It may be the most saddest and depressing theory on Navi's disappearance, but I still like to share it with you in a way that will really get the message across.
In Hyrule, every fairy has a role, and when that role is fulfilled, that fairy fades away. When I met you, my role was to help you realize your destiny. We learned together, we fought together, and even traveled through time together. And then, you defeated the evil king and became a true hero. And my role was fulfilled. Instead of fading before your eyes, I took the coward's way out and gave you false hope. All I can say is, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
A very chilling theory that may hold some truth to it, as fairies that reside in the fairy fountains tend to fade away after healing you. But then again, forest fairies have always been different, acting as companions to the Kokiri, but at the same time, it could be a possibility that either their lifespan or their purpose have met an end at some point, as in the Wind Waker, the Kokiri's evolution, the Koroks, lacked fairies, although fairies were still present in that game. Whether or not forest fairies fade like fountain fairies is still unknown at this point. Now another interesting theory on Navi's whereabouts is that she became a great fairy.
Wow, I become a great fairy?
Well, no. Actually, well, it could be a possibility, but it's just a theory.
Oh, darn!
It can be theorized that for assisting the hero in saving Hyrule, Navi was reborn as a great fairy. This would of course explain the great absence of Navi and Link's inability to find or even recognize her. But given the fact that the hierarchy and the true workings of the Society of Fairies is still largely unknown, there really isn't much to back this claim other than what if. Although it seems that the Great Fairies after Ocarina of Time seem to have a great affinity for Link, but that still isn't much. Lastly is that Navi may have ascended to heaven or to the afterlife, as in Hyrule Historia it states that Navi flew to the heavens. Now this can be interpreted in a multitude of ways, but perhaps fairies could be marked as synonymous with angels in the Zelda series, and that she earned her heavenly wings and a place in the great beyond. With all this theorizing on the whereabouts of gaming's most famous or infamous fairy, it seems that Nintendo is content on leaving Navi's fate ambiguous, even though the events of Ocarina of Time's sequel in its purest form is attributed to her disappearance. Despite all of that, some of these theories may hold water, but then again, we may never know.
Hey, listen! I hope you enjoyed HMK's theory on the fate of yours truly! Be sure to check out his YouTube channel, and if you love The Legend of Zelda, subscribe, as more Zelda theories and videos are always coming on this channel! Until the next video, I'm Navi the Fairy, and this has been HMK, and we will check you guys later! Hello everyone, I'm Singing Samane, and I did the voice of Navi for this awesome theory! If you want to hear more from me, you can check out my own channel. As my name implies, you can probably guess what type of content you'll see. Or hear. Whichever. However, some people say their ears started bleeding after visiting my channel.
So please proceed with caution and don't blame me because I warned you.